of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast. Coming to you live from our very own YouTube channel. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and happy Friday, wherever you may be tuning in. With your host, as always, I'm Michael, he's Jacob. Coming to you guys live, post-match, USA 0, England 0, and Group B play in the World Cup in QATAR. Jacob, how are we doing, my friend? We have a special guest joining us today. We've got a lot of USA opinions, a lot of England opinions on this show today. Hey, but 0-0, USA still undefeated against England in World Cup play.
Let's go. That's a great stat. And right off the top, I just want y'all to know about the Freedom Stash. I shaved it.
Freedom ring.
Let Freedom ring. I really went all in for this game because I was feeling really good about it. We deserved the win. I thought we were the better team on the day. There's so much to talk about, Michael. It's so good to be here with you. One of the only things worth postponing our Friday show 2 hours for. So big ups if you're here. USA. I think without further ado, we should bring our first guest on. Yeah, without further, it's going to be quite noisy. But nonetheless, joining us live from Florida. Orlando, Florida, if I may. He's here we go. There we go. He's already getting them. Yes.
Hey.
Let's go,
guys.
Mari.
How's it going, Mari?
I'm live here at the street party right here.
Hell yeah.
Everybody feels like a meh because it's a tie. I have my buddy here.
Americans are happy.
We're happy, but
I'm happy.
But we drew, and we're gonna have an English perspective. My buddy right here, he's gonna give you his opinion.
Right. Oh.
How's it going, English buddy?
Hey, big up, English buddy.
How are you doing? You all right?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
I'm
England
on top of the
0,
moon.
USA 0. Pretty good result for USA fans. Probably not for the other side though. What about what do you have to say?
Oh, it's fucking terrible. Am I allowed to swear?
No, yeah, you're allowed to swear, man.
Of course.
We're not monetized anyways. Go
Okay,
ahead.
sorry, I just wanted to make sure. I apologize. It's a little bit embarrassing, I'm going to be honest with you, right? Because, all right, all credit where credit's due. The USA team, they stuck to the game plan and they delivered. They did the whole 90 minutes. They absolutely delivered. Was to allow England to try and play out the back and then counter-attack, right? And they look dangerous. We can't deny it. As an England fan, I'm a little bit disappointed because I think we should have turned the game around, particularly at half-time. I think Southgate should have put Foden on. He put Grealish on, great, but he put Henderson on. I was like, what are you doing? Henderson's more defensive-minded. Why not put Grealish, Foden, and allow the creativity to flow?
Honestly, for me personally, I'm real glad that Foden didn't see the field. I think he's a game changer. I hate watching him when he plays with City, so I knew if he came onto the pitch that he was going to be a clear problem for us. But luckily, you guys got the British version of our manager, Greg Berhalter. So the tactics were pretty bad. I thought we did as USA. When we just look at some of the substitutions that did or didn't happen. For me, Shaq Moore, I thought that was a welcome sight. Michael, I think, wasn't so welcoming.
He was dog shit. I thought he was dog shit.
But to me, it was better than what I thought Yedlin could offer us. And I just gotta big up Greg for that because I didn't want to see DeAndre Yedlin today. I didn't want to see Josh Sargent start today. I did want to see Aronson and Gio start. They didn't start, but. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with what Greg Berhalter did out there. This draw feels like a win for me.
Yeah, I think we could have been a little bit more aggressive late on in the second half. I would say in the last 5 to 10 minutes of regulation. But overall, it's a positive result for us. I think more so than the English side.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I thought the midfield is really where we won the main battle today, and which is why we were a little bit more successful in my opinion than the English side, especially more so in the attacking play. You look at this 11 that went out there, and you look at that midfield: Yunus Musa, Tyler Adams, guys like Weston McKennie as well. They did such a great job of containing a really big player and a really big reason of why England really dominated Iran in that opening game of World Cup group stage play, and that's Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham ended up going off in the second half, but he was really not that big of a factor today against the USA, especially with how well he played in the opening match. I think that was crucial to stop him in particular. I thought Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams did such a fantastic job of containing Jude Bellingham, and I thought that was one of the main reasons why England struggled. Also, I wasn't really too sure why Gareth Southgate didn't play guys like Phil Foden, guys who could really, I think, make more of an impact in the attacking sense of that formation. It's just a lot of question marks for Southgate.
I got a genuine question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Because obviously, England USA, it's a great rivalry, but we also love each other as nations. We do. There's no comparison between the relationship that we have. Do you think there was an element of hey, if we draw, we're both in good stead to go through?
I don't
know.
So.
I feel like we wanted to win.
We definitely were going for the win. If there was some kind of agreement, who knows?
I agree with that.
We were trying real hard
America
with the shots.
went for the win. This is what I say. I feel like America went for the win. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Especially in the second half, England started to sit back a little bit more, and that's when you really started to see USA gain more momentum. I would say in the 60th-ish minute, around the midway point in the second half, we were really starting to build up some momentum, and it kind of just looked like England were kind of sort of hunkering down and just kind of playing contained rather than going out and getting
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think we were way too contained. But do you think we were ever worried? Do you think England as a nation were ever worried to see you guys doing what you do? Because I thought there was a couple of times that the US had just before halftime, Pulisic, where he hit the crossbar.
I was gonna say before Pulisic hit the crossbar, I would say no. I would say you guys were still, going either for the win, or you still had some sort of kind of not arrogance, but you still had kind of that leg up in terms of the prowess and the overall feel around the team. But as soon as Pulisic hit the crossbar, I think that's when it totally changed.
Yeah.
After Pulisic hit the crossbar, I think that's when England were kind of oh shit, we might be in trouble here. We got to start playing better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think we took the US for granted after playing Wales and then drawing, and then Wales fucking losing 2-0 to Iran, which no one expected.
I think it relieved a little bit of pressure from both teams, the result of earlier today, because everyone kind of expected 100%. Either Wales to get some sort of result or get all 3 points, and when they didn't, I think both teams kind of maybe not didn't play to the best of their ability, but I don't think there was as much pressure on one team to get 3 points rather than the result that actually did happen today.
Yeah, I agree. I think both teams were if we draw, especially towards after 75th minute, last 15 minutes of play plus additional time, I think both teams took out you know what, if we draw, we draw.
Yeah,
I think we in the last maybe 10 minutes as a team looked like we were more after England had a couple free kicks. It to me appeared we were more comfortable just maintaining possession and just holding the ball and let's play for the draw. But I really felt like for 80 minutes for sure we were going for the full 3 points. That's just my opinion. We're getting some Mari action back. Here we go. Thank you for joining as well.
Yes.
Nice little lens flare there going on.
Thank you for joining.
Hey, pleasure.
Yeah, man. Guys, my thoughts on the game was United States. We from the beginning we tried to get the game. Just some missed chances, especially by McKennie. I think his quads were still hurting. Because he really missed the chance and Pulisic hit the post. I don't know why it took so long to put Giovanni in the game.
Yeah,
that was my first question.
Yeah.
Really frustrated me. Another thing is that the last 10 minutes, I think we got really conservative, but I guess both teams were like, hey, we'll take the draw, especially with the Iran results earlier. Spice Girls in my background. Sorry about that.
Big up
but,
Alan Sibley.
Actually, I like Ginger Spice. I actually like Ginger Spice, but she's English, and she's hot too. But
Which one? Baby Spice?
not Baby Spice, Ginger. I like that.
Which one married David Beckham?
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that we got a little conservative, but then again, it was smart. It was smart because Iran beating Wales. Now it's in our hands. Beat Iran and England. All they have to do is
This is what we need to
just
do. Okay,
draw
look,
this Wales or
as England and United States, there's two things that we need to do, right?
yeah.
Iran politically shouldn't even fucking be in the World Cup, right? Let's be realistic. Right?
Yeah, for human rights situation.
15,000 protesters have got a death sentence.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Like within this last week, it's fucked up, right? And who are we supposed to look as?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you speak. Keep
Hang
going.
it. And who are we supposed to look up to, right? Our world leaders, right? And as someone from England, or it's United Kingdom and American, we should preach that everyone is equal and no one should ever be treated that way. And when you got Iran saying, hey, we protest you and your government, and you got 15,000 protesters that you just annexed to saying, hey, you've got the death sentence, it's not right. Iran shouldn't even be in this competition. Every team should look to beat Iran. Simple. I'm disappointed in Wales because they didn't beat Iran. I hope they would.
I hope we do too. All politics aside, for me, I just think that's a game we can go in there and definitely take control of and win.
We have to. We have to
So,
talk about politics.
guys-
Football is always developed around politics.
Yeah, no, it is football. It's surrounded by politics. And so I'm going to head off because my phone is about to die and I'm going to get me something to eat. But it was
You're
great.
gonna get yourself a freedom burger.
I might get
So
myself
we
a
meet
freedom
again.
burger. Yes,
Yeah.
let's meet again.
American and England meet again.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully we do.
Great countries.
I hope we do.
And we love them both.
All right, Mari,
Always have
thank you so much for joining us
Big up
today. We
Mari. Check
appreciate
out
it,
the
man.
Mari Spurs channel.
Yes,
With the
sir,
Love
yes,
sir.
Lounge channel. Big up USA. Oh man, that looks like he's having some fun out there. Big up Alan Sibley, 10-inch in the house. Says England were crap. I agree.
Yep.
LOL. We're all
Yep.
laughing. Bobby K says Canada gonna thump both of these teams anyway. Big up Bobby K. This is a good time. We got some patron members jumping in the chat. Good time to shout out the patron channel. In the Soggy Undies Club, we got the one and only Alan 10-inch Sibley and Reyes Jr. Big up yourself, brothers. And in 10-inch Club, we got Goguma, Queen Ellie, Tottenham Till I Die, and C. Shearman. And our official supporters are Scott M, James Joris, Jaco, David, Aaron Dub, Jamie, and Jack Kanicki. Big up everyone, as well as our Lovers Lane. Put your hands up, Lovers Lane. Put your hands up, Bobby K, Gina Kim, Tom Markin, and CQ. Appreciate the support. Good time to shout y'all out. Thanks for tuning in. Michael, I'm so happy. This feels like a
You
win.
are. You're very happy.
This
You're
feels like a
very
win.
happy. I'm mildly happy. Like I wanted the 3 points, but I will settle for the draw. I think much better, obviously, than no points. But part of me, especially the way we ended the first half and the way we came out and approached the second half, I felt like we deserved a win today, man. At least that's just kind of how I felt. I felt like we should have taken a little bit more advantage of our chances that we had. You know, obviously Weston had a few chances. Pulisic had a chance as well. He hit the bar. I don't know, man. Like I'm happy with the result, but just there's that part of me that wants more, that wants all 3 points, and I felt like we had a really good opportunity to get those today. Because you know, as Alan already said, I really did think that England were crap today. I thought England were very, very poor. I thought it was one of their worst performances in a long, long time. They were pretty flat. I think outside of like one Bukayo Saka run into
Ball
the
soccer.
box. Like that was really the only opportunity, and along with the Kane shot that was blocked by Walker Zimmerman, those are really the only chances that England real felt like a dangerous team on the attack.
Mm-hmm.
For me, USA just felt a little bit more dangerous. We really controlled the midfield play. I thought the Americans were much better in the midfield in particular, and they really took control of the game there, and I think that's why we played at a much better level. I had already mentioned it. Bellingham was limited by the play of Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie. You saw
that's a nice way of saying he got clamped the fuck up. What's up, all them Jude Bellinghams? What's up?
You can also say that they did a really good job with containing Harry Kane when he dropped into the middle of the pitch as well. I mean, there was a few chances here and there where Harry Kane did drop in the middle, and he had a few nice distribution passes here and there. But overall, he was contained as well. I don't know. I just thought that we executed at a better level, obviously, than England did, and I think that's why we feel a little bit better than the English side of the game.
Well, Carl Simpson says, all I can say, guys, is thank God USA can't finish, as we were useless. Looks like England and USA through to the knockout rounds. Let's hope. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch.
There's still one more game left. And Iran, they already beat Wales. They got their result today, 2-0, and both stoppage time goals. So it's going to be a difficult game, I think.
Yeah.
Iran are not a pushover. They're a team that likes to sit back, and then just like they did today against Wales, when you least expect it, late on in the game, they nick a goal or two, and it's the difference between no points or 3.
Yeah, no, 1000%. Big up, Nick. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Ian Ferguson, we should smash Iran.
If we play like we did today against Iran, yes, I agree, Ian. I thought that we played well today, and I am definitely more optimistic about going into this Iran game than I was, let's say, at the beginning of the World Cup. That's all I'll say.
Big up
Looked
Ian,
decent in the first game, wilted away in the second half, and then we looked good for all 90 minutes against England. Like, I think I'll take it at this point. Just wish we would have gotten 3 at least in one of the games.
True. But if we get in the last one, that's all that matters. Ian Ferguson, though, I want to shout him out real quick because I'm in a couple of group chat groups, and I'm singing Red, White, and Blue, How Do You Do to everybody, and he's one of the only people in there standing up for the Red, White, for the bald eagles of freedom. So big up yourself, Ian. Big up David. What's up, my friend? This is a Manchester United and a England national fan. We go way back. He says Kane missed a winner at the end, and that's why he'll never win a major trophy. So that's why he's hating on the best striker in the world, because obviously he let you down. He was locked up. He was clamped down by Walker Zimmerman, MLS talent, Nashville SC captain. He also played for FC Dallas, might I add. So big up Walker Zimmerman, locking down the world's best striker. That was pretty fun to watch, I'm not going to lie. Mick also says English were rubbish. So I think that's the general consensus we're feeling from the England side. If you feel differently, pop it in the chat. Let us know. Also, please do make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Helps the channel grow in every way possible. And big shout out to our patron members. I'll put the patron member or the patron link in the chat in a little while, but I'm still just celebrating right now. I see what you
just announced real quick officially. Christian Pulisic was the official Budweiser player of the game player of the match for the game against England today. I guess it could be a good time if you're ready, Jacob, to get into, I guess, man of the match, and then you don't want to go, if you want, BDE of the match too, if you have a pick there.
Ooh. 20 minutes in, man of the match. I think Pulisic was great, and this is gonna hurt. This is gonna pain me to say because of the club he plays for, but right now it's nation over club. My man Matt Turner is my man of the match. I thought he was pretty composed.
Along with the Arsenal goalkeeper. Yeah,
I have to, man. He's American. He sang the national anthem before the game, and he showed up for the Stars and Stripes today, quite frankly. Whenever you can hold a team to 0 and they all had some shots on goals, your keeper was in the right place, or he made some damn good plays. And there was a save that he made that I was really impressed with, where he went down to his right-hand side. It was a rocket of a shot, just a straight shot to the bottom left corner for the shooter, but it was to Matt Turner's bottom right. He got down real quickly, knocked it out for a corner.
I think it was Mount's shot.
I think it was Mount. Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember who it was because to me they're all ugly tea drinkers. Yeah. And America, the bald eagle was caw.
1776, by the way. Still undefeated.
USA. This feels like a win. So honestly, Pulisic, he gets the man of the match. It's a pretty cool looking trophy. So I would want one of those if I was playing. So as a keeper, I would.
That looks cool.
You think you can drink out of them? I mean, I would hope they made it so you could drink some Bud out of them.
I'm sure you can. Hopefully, there's an opening at the top.
Carl Simpson says Southgate's destroying Kane. It's embarrassing. I don't know if he's destroying Kane, but Kane was definitely active, very much so.
He was trying. He was trying to get involved.
I will give him the English man of the match for that.
I think it was more so us of just doing a good job of containing him rather than just him not playing that well. I thought Kane was okay. Just didn't get that much service, man. Not a lot of players around him played well today. But wait, did you give your man of the match, Jacob?
Yeah, Matt Turner.
Matt, oh, that's right. You said Matt Turner. I already alluded to it. I'm giving mine to Tyler Adams, man. I thought for the second straight game, he was our best player on the pitch today. Like I already said, the midfield really won the battle. In terms of the United States, we won the midfield battle today.
Good shot.
I thought that's why we were the better team, and I thought that was mainly down to, I guess you give it to either Weston or Tyler Adams. I think I'm going with Tyler Adams though, just because Weston McKennie did have a chance to win the game today, and unfortunately he could not keep the ball down under the bar. So I'm going to go with Tyler Adams. I think he was the best player of the game today, and he's going to be my man of the match. And if I want to go BDE, I think I'm going to give it to either Christian Pulisic or Weston McKennie. They were both absolutely fantastic in terms of just passion. Pulisic really felt like a dangerous player today, in and around the box. Weston McKennie really was just the champion of the midfield today, along with Tyler Adams. He had a really good chance to put the USA win ahead in the first half. Unfortunately, couldn't keep the ball down. But he still had a lot of passion today, a lot of BDE. I'll go ahead and give it to him. What about you?
No, that's a good shout. He's actually, Weston McKennie's my runner-up for BDE because of those things you just mentioned. I thought that he did a very good job of the magnitude of the game. It's a very large game, but also I'm going to say this man on the screen is my BDE. The shot did ring off of the crossbar, but damn, that was close. And I thought that he looked lively. He attracted a lot of attention. That was opening up a lot of space. So to me, he was working hard. He was trying hard, and he had the damn shot that if it was 1 inch under, that thing's rolling in there. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I guess maybe for England's man of the match, I might say Luke Shaw, because he did nutmeg Dest on one of them. One of those. He did dance on him a little bit, but you know what? I also thought Dest was a little bit impressive. He's someone who I've thought has struggled a lot as of late for the U.S. men's team and for his club. But you know what? He's still our best right back, and I guess I got to root him on. Shaq Moore didn't really offer us much more than DeAndre Yedlin did. So, man, it's tough, but I'll take the draw. It feels like a win. I feel like we should have won, though, too. I do share some of that from that you have, Michael, that we should have really won that. We had chance after chance. You could argue England had a couple chances there at the end as well, but at the end of the day, red, white, and blue, how do you do?
How do you do? How do you do?
Alan Sibley, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just want to read the 10-inch comment. Shows you how bad we were when fucking Maguire is one of our best players. That's hilarious. My wife, I'm going to share an anecdote real quick, Mike, just because Alan made me think of this. Alan, my wife, when she first saw Harry Maguire, was like, who's that guy who looks 60 years old and is busted? And I didn't see him when she said that, so I was like, oh, who's she talking about? And they showed a shot of Harry Maguire, and she was like, oh, there he is. And it was hilarious. It's one of those moments I'll never forget. So big up Maguire. Big up yourself, buddy. Sorry to interrupt you there, Michael. Just want to make sure I get that.
You're good.
The Soggy Club, Soggy Undies, they're going to get their shout out.
So we already talked a little bit about the game. Now let's talk a little bit about where the standings currently lie for Group B. England still remain up top with 4 points after today's draw with the United States. Iran, huge result today against Wales. Like I already mentioned, 2 stoppage time goals against the Welsh, and they did end up with all 3 points at the full-time whistle. They are now in second place with 3 points after a rough start to a World Cup play when they played their opener against England. They lost, 6 goals to 0 or 6 goals to 2 in the first game. So really good bounce back performance from them. So look, going into this final match day, man, correct me if I'm wrong, but England are already in. because Iran and USA are playing each other. A draw would mean that England are in if Iran and USA draw. So look, it's looking like USA winning, you're in, right? At this point, we could get in with goal differential if we draw here, huh? Yeah, we can. Or no, if we draw, they get 4 points. So no, we have to win. Yeah, it's a must win. Must win going into the last match day, man. It all comes down to Iran here. So it's going to be an exciting last match day of this group play. It's going to be exciting, man.
It's a scary look when we're sitting there at third and we're talking about making it out the group, but we're in a position exactly win and you're in. And I think that's all we could really ask for as USA fans, because going into this, our expectations were not high. To me, if we were able to make it out of the group, that was a huge stepstone for the 2026 World Cup that will be hosted here in the USA. So I wasn't really expecting us to make out the group, but this is the perfect position to be in. You couldn't ask for a better position to sit in the driver's seat, control your own destiny, go out there, put a performance on. It's all to play for, and it's really exciting.
At this point, the only team that doesn't control their own destiny is Wales, correct? Wales still need a little bit of help from, I think it's us, or I don't know. But
if
we win, we're in. Iran win, they're in. England, I think, are already in regardless. And then Wales, they need to win, but I think they need a little bit of help as well.
Custom Spoons, that's a new name.
It's an interesting last match day, man. All of these teams are within touching distance of qualifying. It's going to be an exciting last day of group stage play for Group B.
You know what would be insane now that I'm looking at it? Big up Custom Spoons. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. That's a fun name. I'm looking at this. If we win and England loses to Wales, that Wales may be able to get in on goal differential if they win.
Yeah, depending on how much they win by.
Yeah, if they're able to win by a hefty amount, then they could surpass. I guess England, what they got?
They have to win by at least like 4 goals.
6 maybe, because they're -2.
Yeah, I think they need to win by like 4 goals or something like that. 3 goals.
Either way, that's the uphill
goals.
climb that I almost thought USA would be in that kind of a position. We would need to win and get some help. But like we were talking about, this is the perfect position for me. Go out there, get 3 points, you win, you're in. That's what, to me, that's a huge accomplishment. I'm really proud of the boys. They went over there and they put on a show. Some people have taken notice. We've talked about links with Weston McKennie now. We're talking about where some of these players might go. Another guy I really enjoy watching so far is Haji Wright. He's a big striker. He can play primarily in the striker position, or he can play on the right and left. He's a pretty versatile player, large, fast, all the things you want to see in a forward for me. So there's a lot of guys potentially could do something. It'll be real interesting to see.
Real quick before we go into the group standings and just talk about some of these games so far that we've seen in group stage play, just want to get into some comments. Jaco, he says, Mike,
sorry,
what do you think of, or what did you think of Korea versus Uruguay?
Big up, Jaco.
Hey man, big up Jaco, loyal Patreon member of the United Spurs of America podcast. First off, man, I think me and Jacob both got up at the ass crack of dawn for this one. It was a 6 a.m. kick over here across the pond, and I thought it was a worthwhile watch in terms of the Korean standpoint. Obviously, we have guys on both sides of the ball. We have obviously Hyunmin Son for South Korea, and then Rodrigo Bentancur, one of the best informed midfielders right now in the entire planet, playing for Uruguay. So honestly, I just wanted to watch a really good game, and I think I was a little bit more in the bias of South Korea, just because I would love to see Sonny get out of the group stage for once and just kind of, you never know what's going to happen in the knockout rounds of the World Cup. So you just got to get through to through from the group stage. So I actually thought South Korea were the better team on that day. What was it, yesterday? I got up early for the game. I thought South Korea were a little bit unlucky not to finish some of their chances. They had at least 2 chances that I can remember correctly where they could have and should have scored against Uruguay. And on the Uruguayan side, man, I thought that they were really poor in terms of their expectations going into this World Cup. I thought Uruguay kind of struggled, especially in the second half. I really thought that South Korea were knocking on the door. They had a lot of really good midfield play, really bright attacking talent as well. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, man. That's another group that we were talking about it last week, that we were thinking that was going to be one of the tougher groups, and that opening match, the South Korea-Uruguay game, proved just why that group is going to be interesting going into their second match day tomorrow, because both them and their two other counterparts play in tomorrow's slate. What about you, Jacob? What did you think of that Korea-Uruguay match?
Again, like you said, woke up super early. I thought that they were being too rough on my mans. They even took his shoe off at one point. Give that man a red.
Ask Sonny, though. It hits different.
Bro,
Batman Sonny.
Oh my God, I got something for you. I was working on it while you were. Hopefully it'll work this time. There we go.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, there you go.
This is one of my favorite photos. This is my new reaction. This is my new contact photo. This is everything. Mass Sonny hits different. He's got a fire about him. It's unfortunate his shot, I think the one shot I did see in the second half anyway, it did go wide. That was unfortunate. But you know what? Uruguay's a good side. You get a point versus them. That's not bad. Also, I know we'll probably look at their group a little later, Michael, when you share that. But
yeah.
But that's a good position to be in, because Uruguay's one of the teams that I really felt like can make it through to the group. So it's kind of same emotions, I guess, as this USA team result. You know, you get a draw versus one of the favorites to make it out the group. So you got to be pleased with that result. You did not concede. Kim Min-jae, I think, is okay. He took a little bit of an injury, so it was.
He looked good, man. Kim Min-jae looked really good against Uruguay.
So
and it kind of makes you, honestly, it kind of made me wonder what could have been, man, because obviously we were linked 2 summers ago. Well, actually both summers, 2 summers ago and then this summer, before he went to Napoli, and he has been an absolute monster for both Napoli this season, and so far he's looked really good for Korea in the World Cup group stage. Let's get into it though, man, group by group. Hold on, I need to actually share my screen again.
Yeah, you had it shared.
I had it shared and I unshared it. First. Yeah, I was being a dumbass. There we go. Okay. Going into Group A, this was the very first matchup of the World Cup, Ecuador and Qatar. And let's be honest, man, it should have been more than 2-0 in that matchup. Qatar got absolutely dominated from minute 0 to minute 90 against Ecuador. They lost 2-0, and then Ecuador getting a huge result today, pulling one back after coming back from 1-0 down against the Netherlands.
Valencia.
They are now tied, man, with the Dutch at 4 points apiece atop Group A. And this is one that we had talked about last week. Outside of Qatar, we said that there were 3 teams in this group, and they were Senegal, Ecuador, and Netherlands, who, you know, this could be a group that's really, really tough. I elected to go for Senegal over Ecuador to make it with the Netherlands out of this group stage. I think, did you predict that as well, or did you predict Ecuador to go through, Jacob?
I picked Netherlands and Ecuador.
Okay. Because so for me, and we'll get into it in a little bit after we go through every single group, but for me, Ecuador has been one of the biggest surprises, in my opinion, in terms of the results that they've gotten and how well they've played so far. I already mentioned it today. They got a huge result against the Netherlands. Arguably should have won. They were the much, much better side today against the Dutch. And then that opening game against Qatar was absolutely electric. Enner Valencia looks on fire right now. He came off with a little bit of a knock against the Netherlands, but in the first 2 games, he's got 3 goals. He's got right now, he's the current Golden Boot holder, if you will. He's got the most goals so far in World Cup group stage play. But Jacob, this has been an exciting group so far. Senegal, Ecuador, and Netherlands, like I already mentioned, they all look really, really good.
I said it on the prediction pod that we did last week. I said Ecuador is going to make it through. These South American teams will surprise many people. Ecuador is filled with talent. I'm trying to remember the name of the lad that was in our chat. Spurs, it might have been. They're huge Ecuador fans. I actually have some Ecuadorian family, so it's really great to see this. Again, a team, you're in a position, you're in the driver's seat. You draw, you're through. You win, you're in. It's even more comfy position to be in than the U.S., but a team, no doubt, that's filled with talent. This guy, Valencia, man, he is quite the talent. He loves taking it in on the right, popping a shot in, and he bagged one. He got 2 in the game before versus a weaker side. He's got some talent. He may be the surprise star of this World Cup. We will see. It, again, remains to be seen. Senegal did pull out the victory versus Qatar, so it's pretty much evident Qatar ain't making it.
Yeah, they're officially eliminated after today.
Thanks for hosting the World Cup, I guess.
Thanks for hosting the World Cup. See you later.
But the Netherlands for sure was always going to make it through. Ecuador pulled out the draw. They almost got the win too. So this is a team not to be taken lightly.
Nope.
So them making out the group, I think they're going to throw a huge party down there, and it'll be a good time. But fun group, no doubt.
Fun group so far, man. Senegal, a team that's missing their big star in Sadio Mane. They have not been a pushover by any means. As you look there, they did get a win against Qatar earlier. Was it today? Yeah, it was today, right? Yeah, it was earlier this morning or yesterday. But regardless, really big result against Qatar. They now they control their destiny as well. I think they win their last game, they're in. But it's a tough test because I do believe they do play Ecuador, correct, in the last group stage game. So
Senegal versus Ecuador, yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Going over to Group B now, we obviously already covered a lot of it because the England and United States did play today along with Iran and Wales. We had already covered it a little bit, but just to look at it as things stand, England with 4 points atop Group B, followed by Iran, who got a big result today. 2 stoppage time goals against Wales earlier this morning at the ass crack of dawn over here in the United States. We already mentioned it. USA, very good performance today against England. They have 2 points in 2 games after drawing against Wales and England. And then Wales, tough result. Things are not looking good going into the final match day. They play England in their final game. And, we saw today post-match. I don't know if anyone else had a chance to see it, but Gareth Bale on the verge of tears in his post-match interview after the Wales 2-0 defeat to Iran. Tough one to swallow, and like I said, things are not looking very good on the Welsh side of the pond. What about you, Jacob? What are your overall thoughts?
That the Wales-Iran game, that result was perfect for us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because if Wales would have won that game, they could go into that England and just draw, and both of them go through. And that's what I'm afraid of. And our guest, Mari's friend, was on a little earlier, kind of said, "Do you think USA and England did that?" And I don't. I disagree with that sentiment. But I'm glad that this is everyone's going into this as far as the last group game in Group B. Everyone's going into it with a chip on their shoulder. They got to win. England get a tie, you're in. You lose by 4. That's it. Big up Alan Sibley. All 4 can still qualify. You are absolutely correct. Yep. His prediction is England going through with Iran by the looks of it.
Yeah, whatever, man. Y'all look like dog shit today.
Yeah. I thought Bellingham was supposed to, rip us a new one. But what did he do? He got locked the fuck up. Him and Kane. Everyone got locked the fuck up. So, you know what? Yeah, we need to beat Iran. We go out there, get 3 points versus Iran. You win, you're in. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great about it.
All right, moving on to Group C. This one is probably the biggest surprise so far of the tournament. Where things stand, a lot of people were expecting Argentina to be up top right now in number 1 as things stand. They are actually bottom of the barrel. No points after 1 game. They play Mexico tomorrow afternoon over here in the States. That is the main game tomorrow, prime time at noon, 2 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. I think UK time, or 8 p.m. I forget. Look, man, we'll get into it in a little bit, but I'll just go ahead and kind of give you a spoiler. Saudi Arabia have been the surprise of the tournament for me. The way that they came back from 1-0 down, going 1-0 down against arguably one of the best teams, if not the best team behind Brazil in this tournament, Argentina, coming back and winning 2-1 off of an absolute banger of a second goal. What a result for the Saudi Arabians. What a result for that team and that nation. Poland drawing with Mexico 0-0 in that first game, so they're second, Mexico third. They're tied basically for second right now with Argentina at the bottom. But Saudi Arabia, man, up top with 3 points. Right now they're looking very good. They play Poland tomorrow morning. It's looking good over there in the Middle East, my friend, for Saudi Arabia.
They're having a good time over there, and a big ups to them. Long may it continue. I would love to see Saudi and Mexico make it through that group. That would be hilarious, a shakeup. It would be sad on the side if you're a Messi fan. But Christian Romero hasn't looked good. He seems to be playing through an injury for them.
I fault for the first goal, unfortunately.
It's tough for them. But you know what? Big up Saudi Arabia. Honestly, I don't think Poland's got much. I don't know if they can do it versus Saudi, man, because they couldn't even get the job done versus Mexico. But for me, Viva la Mexico way. I'm trying to say, I know you're gonna be watching tomorrow's game in a very special destination.
I'm gonna be watching in Mexico, man, in Juarez, across the border. It's gonna be special. It's gonna be special. My father-in-law got us all Mexico kits, the green ones this year. So
that's sick,
I'll
bro.
be wearing
Give me
mine
one
tomorrow.
Give me one while you're down there.
I'll try.
One of them
For
bootleg
sure.
ones.
Yeah.
The backwards Nike.
But it's going to be a good game tomorrow, man. Mexico and Argentina. Like we already said, Poland and Saudi Arabia is going to be a good game as well because of how big of the result Saudi Arabia got from that first game. But you look at it tomorrow, man, and obviously if Argentina lose, I believe they're knocked out from qualification depending on what happens in the Saudi Arabia and Poland result. But no points. If they can't get a single point going into the last match day, you're basically almost eliminated at that point, and your destiny is out of your control. Let's put it that way. So Argentina must-win game against Mexico tomorrow. Mexico, you could argue, also must-win game because if you go into that one with only 2 points on the final match day, you're not going to feel that comfortable, especially when you're playing the current leaders of your group in Saudi Arabia. So a few juicy key matchups tomorrow, man. I'm excited for both of these matchups tomorrow because, like I said, Saudi Arabia have been my surprise so far of the tournament, the biggest surprise for me. And I already mentioned it last week, man, on our official predictions. I predicted Argentina to win the whole damn thing. So I have high expectations for Argentina. I know I picked Mexico to go through as second place, but, if they get a big result tomorrow, Argentina's not going through. So in terms of my predictions, I think I need an Argentina win. But regardless, I just pray for the best for Mexico. I always do for my people. But it'll be exciting, man. It'll be exciting the following day.
Yeah,
Group
tomorrow's
D.
gonna be a big day.
This one had a lot of people nervous, especially in terms of their official predictions, because we didn't know how well the French were going to play. Going into match day one, they have a lot of key injuries in a bunch of key areas in the midfield, defense, and attack. Benzema was ruled out of the World Cup the week before, leading up to their official first game against Australia. They ended up winning 4-1. Tunisia and Denmark played to a 0-0 draw. This is currently how things stand, man, and I think this is outside of Tunisia and Denmark being tied. I think this was the expected result of the first match day. Not Argentina. France getting a big win against Australia. They looked very, very dominant, very, very good. I think right now, man, in terms of the French side, things are looking very good right now.
This is a team you expect to make it through. Anything less is a disappointment. You could argue they should top this group. I would argue that Denmark is a strong side. I actually didn't watch the Denmark Tunisia. Was it Denmark Tunisia who played?
Yeah.
I actually didn't watch that game. It was like 3 a.m. for me, so didn't watch that game. There was no highlights to really watch. So, but a clean sheet for Denmark. You gotta assume that they're gonna try something. Now, I did watch the Australia-France game, and Australia went up 1-0. At one point, I was hoping this was a sign of the times, and unfortunately, it was not. As they then proceeded to get run over, so it was a tough watch for the Roos. But you know what? This is France. This is what you expect. Despite the injuries, they got so much depth. They're one of those countries. They just got piece after piece after piece. You could argue England got piece after piece after piece, and guess what? They ain't done nothing. But either way, I still see Denmark and France making it through this group at the end of the day.
Yeah, me too. You already mentioned it. Unfortunate for the old Socceroos in that first matchup, but I think that was kind of the expected result outside of, I think I had mentioned it last week, man. I think that going into this World Cup, France had the potential to be the most dominant force like they were in 2018, but they also had the potential to be the upset of the tournament, or the team to disappoint of the tournament, just because of how many injuries were surrounding their team going into the World Cup. They were missing a lot of key pieces from that 2018 title, that title team that ended up winning the World Cup. And look, they have the depth for this tournament. They had it even before the injuries, and they even after, man. There's still a deep squad. This is a very, very strong team. they have the class up top, they have the class in the midfield, and they have the class in the back. From top to bottom, this is probably, outside of Brazil, the most complete team of the tournament. And they showed why they are the defending champs. They really did. It wasn't a close game by any means. Australia, they did go up 1-0 to start out, and people were kind of thinking, oh, all right, maybe this is kind of what we expected. France to crumble under all the pressure, all the injuries. Nah, man. 4-1. They cruised, especially in that second half. Really, really good performance from Giroud. Really, really good performance from Mbappe as well. And look, outside of Brazil, I think right now, France are the heavy favorites to win the title once again in this World Cup. It's kind of hard to defend, to defend that statement.
Yeah. I don't see France winning it. I never really thought France was winning it. Based on what they did in the Euros, I was really just not expecting much from them, except for sure to make it out the group. But I think once they make it out the group, they're going to face the winner of, was it Argentina's group, I think? Or
well, they'd be playing the second place group from, I think, the Argentina group, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So depending what happens there, they could be playing a tough matchup. They could.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen, though. It remains to be seen. Group E. This was my group of death here. I said that this was going to be the hardest group of the tournament, and Jacob, it feels so good to be right again, my friend, because Japan beating Germany after going 1-0 down, coming back, beating them 2-1 in their opening game of World Cup stage play. Oh, man. Absolutely electrifying performance from the Japanese. They're looking absolutely great right now. They're in the driver's seat of their own destiny right now as well. They're one of the teams that looks very, very strong. But above them on goal differential, 7-0 in the opening group stage game. The Spanish, and Jacob, this was your team that you put out, and you had Japan actually beating going into the knockout rounds. And I said, look, man, this is a team that's hungry. This is a team that's young. This is a team that's on the rise. I felt like they had enough talent to push them through. I didn't think by any means they were going to win their first game by that margin. But regardless, they look very, very strong. They look like they're here to take care of business. Costa Rica, we both mentioned it, man. We had high hopes for this team in terms of they were going to cause trouble. They were going to give teams trouble. Buddy, there was no trouble to be had against Spain in that opening game. Jesus Christ, they got dominated from start to finish. But no, look, Spain is a team right now that put the entire world on notice. They put every other team on notice in the World Cup so far, even outside of their group. They are one of the teams to beat now, and they're one of the best teams in the group right now in terms of form. But look, man, 7-0 to begin their group stage campaign. I think there's not a team right now that couldn't be more confident than them going into their second game.
I would say temper your expectations, laddies, because, again, this is a team I didn't have making it out in Costa Rica or Spain because I thought Costa Rica was going to get in there and shake things up. First game versus Spain, they didn't do much to shake nothing. They got shook up. They got wrecked. They got ran through, ran over, whatever you want to call it. It was a rout. Did not enjoy watching that. But big up to Spain. Maybe I'm going to be wrong. I did pick Japan and Germany to make it out this group. This is a very deep group. My runner-up for group of death. But, yeah, man, Japan is very impressive. That's a performance I thought they would go out there and put. Now, who do they play next? Spain?
Well, let's take a look.
I thought
here.
I just looked.
I have the schedule pulled up here. Hold on.
They play on Sunday versus Costa Rica.
Okay.
So they should pick that win up.
Yep.
That's
Sunday. They have the 3 a.m. game. Rip. But
right.
yeah,
I will not be up for that. I will watch the highlights.
I will watch.
But I do expect Japan. I expect Japan to win that and go top of the group. And then I see Spain and Germany getting a draw. I don't see Spain running all over Germany like they did Costa Rica. I think that'll temper their expectations just a little bit. Maybe Germany with nicking a late goal. I don't know. There's been some funny business happening so far in the second round of group stage. So this is definitely one of those groups that you got to keep your eyes on because at this point there's a three-headed monster that at any point one of them groups could pull away. If Spain manages to beat Germany, it's over. They're through. That's done. So they're going to be playing for the win. I do still think Japan and Germany can be the ones to make it out this group. I still believe in my picks. I hope I'm right. but it remains to be seen. Japan, I want to say they're one of the shockers of the World Cup so far, but Ecuador has been a little bit better than I expected. So I do see them more as the shock so far. Them and Saudi Arabia as well. That's a good shout. But Japan, keep it going, my friends. Keep it going. I would love to see them make it out the group. I rate them highly. So.
Yeah, I think Germany's a team that just looks very lost without a striker, a true number 9 up top. They played Havertz up top, similar to what Chelsea have done for the majority of their start of their season. And look, it kind of mirrored the way Chelsea have played. They haven't been clinical in front of nets, similar to the way Germany played against the Japanese. They're a team that's obviously in the corner, tail between their legs, and they're cornered right now. They're a team that's a little bit vulnerable, but it makes them a little bit more dangerous, right, going into this second game, and especially playing a strong team and a team that looked so dominant, as in Spain. It's a very dangerous matchup in terms of the Spanish side of things, because now Germany has their backs against the wall. It's a must-win result. You already mentioned it, Jacob. They lose against Spain and they're pretty much done. They're pretty much out of the group stage, depending on Costa Rica somehow getting a big result against Japan. But if Japan win and Germany lose, they're out. They'll both be top of the group with 6 points, and that's it for the German in this World Cup. So it's a must-win for the German. For the Spanish, not necessarily, but look, if you're the Spanish going into this game, to be able to put a team away and as big and powerful as the German, you have to go into that game as a must-win. To be able to knock them out once and for all, not have to worry about them anymore. It'll be huge for the Spanish if they're able to get it done. But very, very exciting in Group E to start out so far. Now we go over to Group F. This is a group that a lot of people had their eyes on as well in terms of the Canadian point of view. Scott M, if you're listening or watching this back later on, shout out. But your boys, I told you weren't getting out of the group.
What's up, Bobby K?
1-0.
What's up, Bobby
and
K?
Bobby K as well. 1-0 loss against Belgium to start things off, and then Croatia and Morocco both drawing 0-0 in their first game as well. This is a group right now, very, very open. Look, Morocco looked pretty good against Croatia. I think they're a team that could possibly surprise a few people. But look, man, Belgium went in there match day 1. They got a big result on Wednesday against Canada, 1-0. They're up top with 3 points, followed by Croatia and Morocco. Croatia is a team that a lot of people predicted to be upset this year and not make it past the group stage. I thought they looked pretty decent against a Morocco side that, look, they're a team that's going to surprise a lot of people. They're a team from AFCON that looks very, very bright. They have a few stars in Hakimi, Ziyech, a few other people as well that they have the talent there to make a few upsets here and there. And this is a group that's wide open right now. What were your overall thoughts on Group F so far, Jacob?
Group F, this is a group where I did expect Belgium and Canada to be down there having little waffles together in 3 and 4. I expected Croatia and Morocco to make it out. Morocco specifically just for the pieces that you named. I highly rate Hakimi. I think he can be a superstar for Morocco. So pair him on the right with Ziyech, and that's a pretty good little combo there. That's something I wouldn't mind seeing at Tottenham. So got to rate them and give them a little love. Speaking of a little love, just want to say what's up. C-Cube from the Lovers Lane in the house. Cheers.
How's it going,
American
C-Cube?
Spurs boys. Green from Vienna. She's in Vienna, USA all the way. Let's go. Hasn't been able to tune in. For your poll answer, I will say that you selected England drew versus MLS Defenders, or my runner-up was England lost it. Let's laugh at them, because that's a pretty good fun one too. So if you haven't participated in the poll, please do. If you haven't liked the video at this moment, please do. We're at 10 likes, 16 votes, so 6 of y'all ain't playing the game. Y'all just want to have fun but don't want to play the game. Come on now. You know what I think about motherfucking haters. But anyway, do participate in those polls. We will close it later and see where everyone lies, because I'm still having a good time. USA all the way. I might be right. I might be wrong about your pick. I don't know. But also want to say real quick, hello, Wolves. What's up?
How's it going, Wolves?
Can't wait for the Adama Traore links. Yeah. I can't wait for the Adama Traore links to start up. But this group, Michael, Canada, Bobby K said earlier, Canada's going to smack both of us, England and USA. But here's the thing, buddy. You got to make it out the group and then win a game or two before you can see us. I hope we both can make it there. I do like Canada's front three. Now, it's questionable why Davies took that penalty. And that penalty was one of the penalties that's like when you're in a shootout and he's like your third or fourth shooter because, he's your star, but he's not going to necessarily make the back of the neck pop. He's going to just guide it in, go for precision more than power. And that's exactly what he did. And the keeper guessed right, blocked his penalty, and Canada go on to lose that game. And it sucks because they deserve more. They deserve more. I really like their front three: Tajon Buchanan, Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies. The Fonz, he's one.
Jonathan Davis should have taken the penalty, man. He would have made it.
That's the thing. And I was asking Scott M, why is Davies taking the penalty? It wasn't even a question. There was no talk about it. It was as soon as the pen was awarded, that ball's under his arm and he's standing over the spot. So to me, there's got to be some questions asked. Who takes the next penalty? It's got to be Jonathan David. To me, my opinion is your strikers always have to take the penalty. This guy's natural position is a left wing back, and he plays just like Perisic is for Croatia. He plays that left winger for his national team, but for the club, he primarily is in the left wing back position. So, when he's up top, you got to be clinical. This isn't a guy who's known for his clinical finishes. He's known for his pace, his burst, his just overall athleticism, ability. I would say Canada's best player, but he did not look like it there on that penalty. So unfortunate for Canada. Belgium got the result. I still could see my prediction coming true. This is the same thing as the last group. I could still see, even though right now I look wrong, maybe I won't in just a little bit, but.
Jaco, he says my Canada didn't look bad. They still might surprise a few people. I didn't say they looked bad, Jaco. I'm just, I'm harping on the fact that they just lost. 0 points out of one game. USA 2 points out of not 0 games. 2 points out of 2 games. So you know what? Look, we have more points than the Canadians so far right now, and I'll take the banner where I can. You know what I mean? But no, I don't think Canada are bad by any means. Whenever I can take a jab at Canada here or there, I'm going to take advantage of it. And right now, I can take advantage of it. All right, Jacob, any final thoughts on Group F before we turn over to Group G?
No, I mean Canada. I need a response. I need to see a response. Let me see. I got
They
the
played
dates.
well. They probably should have beat Belgium in terms of the performance. But look,
Yeah,
when
they
you're in
should
the World
have.
Cup, you got to take advantage of the chances you have, and unfortunately, the Canadians did not. And one of those golden chances was indeed a penalty. So look, when you
Gotta
miss a
convert your
penalty and you
penalties.
miss all of your chances, you don't deserve to win, man. You don't. But
So they got
did play
Croatia
well.
up next. If they can get 3 points there, or even a tie, they still keep themselves somewhat alive in the group.
Yep.
Especially depending on what happens with Belgium and Morocco, which is the game before their hand. So going into the game, Canada's going to know where they stand with this game. If they win, they got a good chance. If they get a tie, maybe they don't got a good chance. So again, you got to prove yourself when the World Cup is on. The whole light, the eyes of the world are watching you. That's when you got to step up, and unfortunately Alphonso Davies did not. But hey, maybe that means he'll be on the cheap and we can go get him. I don't care, we could play him wherever the hell. He's a great player. So I expect more. I expect more from Canada.
All right, my friend, it's time to talk about Group G, and it's also time to talk about a certain individual. And what I mean by that is my Golden Boot prediction winner, my Brazilian number 9, my striker, Richarlison Andrade. 2 goals in the opening game against Serbia yesterday. By the way, happy Thanksgiving to all of our American viewers.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
And the Brazilian number 9, Richarlison, gave me another reason to be thankful for being alive. 2 goals against Serbia, and the second one an absolute banger. The goal of the tournament right now so far, the goal that everyone was talking about yesterday, the goal that everyone is still talking about today. Richarlison leading the Brazilian team to a 2-0 victory against Serbia. They're followed by Switzerland, who opened with a dub against Cameroon. But regardless, Jacob, the best Brazilian striker in the world, reaffirmed the case that he is Brazilian's number 9. He is better than Gabriel Jesus. He is better than Arsenal. Arsenal fans, shut the fuck up, because our Brazilian number 9 is here, and this is what class looks like. Richarlison is here, my friend. What a goal, man. What a goal. Like I already said, it's the goal that everyone's talking about so far. It's the goal of the tournament, but man, look, Brazil, they look the cream of the crop right now. Even though it was only 2-0, it probably should have been about 5-6-0 against Serbia. They put up a good fight, don't get me wrong. The Serbians are not by any means a pushover, but Jesus Christ, dude. Brazil looks like, and deservedly so, their number 1 ranking in the world. They look like the best team so far, in my opinion. What were your overall thoughts so far? You're muted, by the way, my friend.
Oh my God, what a rookie move. I was just saying, first of all, happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrated yesterday. I was thankful to be able to watch the game with some of my family. And when the game started, half of the house was very anti-Brazil, and I was one of the only ones rooting for Brazil. And I told him, I was like, hey, watch out for Tottenham's number 9, okay? He's also Brazil's number 9. This guy, man, the first one he scored, okay, he missed a little tap in before that, and I remember telling my father-in-law, I said, look, this guy, he just missed one. He's got to make that next one.
Yeah.
Boom, gets
He
the
ain't
next
he
one.
ain't missing the next one. He ain't missing the next one.
Gets the next tap in. Boom, quality. He's in the right place at the right time. He missed the first one, made up for it. I was like, good, great. This is fantastic. I don't really care if Brazil win. I just want Richarlison to do well. That's kind of where I'm at. So, but man, I will say I'm a fan of Neymar. I know people don't like the Neymar.
I love Neymar.
I love Neymar. I think he's a fantastic player. But also, this goal, when I tell you I was left speechless, stunned, and screaming all in one, I don't know how to explain my emotion, because I knew it was Richarlison when he tapped it up and then he went for the bike. And when I saw him preparing for that bicycle, in my head, there was a split second where I said, if this fucking thing goes in, oh my God. And it went in. I lost it. The whole house went crazy. Half the house was pissed about it. But my stepdad, my father-in-law and myself were both just fucking losing it, because it was, what a goal. They couldn't show more replays. I was losing my shit. It was such a great moment. I'm thankful that happened. Wow. Now, do it for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Do it for Tottenham. I want to see him do it for Tottenham. It's interesting because everyone says we don't have a true backup striker, but this guy in the true striker position, you see what he can do when he gets adequate service. And I mean, what a pass from Vinny Jr. What a outside of the boot curler in. That looked like Richarlison's first assist that he got for Tottenham. I think it was to Harry Kane, outside of the boot assist. This guy, I'm happy for him. I'm very happy for him. I hope he has a great World Cup. Michael, I hope you're right with your golden boot pick. I also hope I'm right with my golden boot pick. He's yet to get on the board. Sonny, come on, Sonny. I just picked him for the vibes, honestly, because I love him so much. Mask Sonny was forever going to be.
Oh, yeah.
I love the vibes. But Richarlison, my man, what a fucking goal, buddy. What a fucking goal.
Nah, me too, man. I was watching the game with my family. I was watching it with my grandparents and my cousins and my aunts and uncles, and we all at once. There was just a collective when the goal went in. You know, like where it's just like, oh shit, like you just can't believe it. It was just a collective when that went in, and oh my god. Me and my wife, because obviously we're Tottenham fans, and we already knew it was Richarlison. We were going absolutely nuts. The other part of the household was just kind of stunned at what happened. They were just amazed at the goal itself, but we were absolutely elated, man. Like, we couldn't be more happy. You know, obviously it being Richarlison, but that special of a goal, like those are the type of goals like your Van Persies of the 2014 World Cup, or the Pavards of the 2018 World. Like, that is one of the World Cup goals that you're going to be replaying like from 20 years time from now. You know what I mean? Like you're going to look back on this like 24 years from now or whatever it may be, and you're going to be like, yeah, I remember when that Richarlison goal went in and everyone was just amazed by what happened. This is one of the goals that you're going to be talking about. And it was kind of funny, man, because I was talking with my wife. I don't know if it was shortly before, it might have been in the first half, but I was talking with her and I was like, honestly, the one thing I will say about this World Cup so far is, and I know it's only been one game in for all teams and there's still a lot of, soccer left to be played for the rest of the group stage, but there hasn't been a goal yet that's been like, that has made me say like, wow, like that is extraordinary. I've never seen anything like that before. Like you might not ever see anything like it again. Like it's rare when you do see it. And then that happens where it's like, you're not going to forget this goal. Like that's a James type goal. That's a Pavard type goal. That's a Van Persie. Like I already said, you're going to be talking about this goal from many, many World Cups from now. And it's just so special that it happens to be, Tottenham's number 9, Brazil's number 9, and Richarlison, man. But brew, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like Jesus Christ.
Like I couldn't have asked for a better game to root on one of our players.
It was a game that everyone was looking forward to. Like this was Brazil, man. Their opening game of the World Cup, the number one FIFA ranked country in the world going into this World Cup. Like all eyes were on this game. All eyes are going to be on this team every single game, regardless of what the opposition is. And it's just so special that it's fucking Richarlison, man, who's coming through for them. Out of all 11 players on that pitch, Richarlison was the one to do it. That's special. That's special.
I couldn't have written it any better myself. Like I wanted him to do well, and when he got the first goal, I was like, okay, he got one. Maybe they can nick another. But I really thought Neymar was going to be the next one to score, honestly. But man, this guy, the lights are bright, and what does he do? Goal of the tournament thus far. Could be goal of the tournament.
Has to be. And I said it was argued. This is as soon as it went in. My non-biased instant reaction was just like, this is one of, like this is one of the goals of the tournament, like for sure. And I told you, Jacob, like the other one that I can think of that like was incredible up to that point was the second Saudi Arabia goal to beat Argentina. Like the magnitude, because they ended up winning the game off of that goal, and then just the absolute banger of a curler from almost, I think, outside the box, or it might have been outside the box. I forget exactly, but the only other goal was that one that I could think of right then and there on the spot, like that could contend for the goal of the tournament. And now that I've had more time to evaluate it, seeing the reaction, like this is definitely the goal of the tournament so far, like hands down.
And what's even greater is
Richarlison.
Everyone's talking about Jesus is better. Look at this, look at that. Their team's playing better, that's true. And he's also had a lot more minutes. But like Cube says here, I hope the Gooners get excited when they see their boy Jesus when the camera pans to the bench. Brew, motherfuckers. Because you know what? I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of the fact that, like I was trying to say, like when the lights are brightest, he shines as well. The whole world saw that. The whole world. Yeah. And that, like you said earlier, every World Cup there's like a goal that just remains through the test of time, and this could very well be the one that outlives Qatar in the World Cup and just is forever iconic because it was such a great fucking goal.
For sure. And everyone was talking about it then and there. Everyone was talking about it for the rest of the day. It was just one of those goals, man, that makes you say, wow. And like I said, we're going to be talking about this several World Cups from now. We're going to be like, yeah, do you remember the Richarlison goal? Like I said, you take a look back at like 2014, like the James goal that ended up winning the goal of the tournament, and then the Van Persie header from like 25, 30 yards out that somehow went in. Like these goals that make you say like, wow, I don't know if I'm ever going to see anything like that ever again.
That Van Persie goal.
That was
fucking crazy.
That was my initial reaction from that goal. I was like, wow, like that's special.
Yeah.
Super duper special. Looking at the rest of this group, in Group G, like I already mentioned, Switzerland in second place over Cameroon. They beat them in their opening World Cup group stage match 1-0. That's another team, man, that a lot of people were predicting to go through was Switzerland. I personally think that Serbia is still going to go through. Obviously, they're unlucky to be playing Brazil in their opening World Cup group stage match. So there's a lot of soccer left to be played in that group. But regardless, really, really good results for Switzerland. Really, really good result for Brazil as well. Going on now to the final, last but not least by any means, group of the tournament, Group H. A lot of headlines in this one leading up to both all four teams opening a group stage game, but a lot of eyes and basically all eyes in this group were on Portugal, especially on Ronaldo following his contract termination with Man United. A lot of drama off the pitch for them in terms of the Ronaldo side of things. They ended up getting an absolutely electrifying first win of the tournament over Ghana by a score of 3-2. Ronaldo got his own. He scored a penalty, but very, very impressive Ghanaian goals as well. They looked very, very good in their opening World Cup group stage match against Portugal. But nevertheless, Portugal got all 3 points from their opening match, and then we already went through it a little bit earlier on because Jaco did ask for it. But South Korea drew against Uruguay 0-0 in their opening World Cup group stage match as well. Both teams look bright, but South Korea, man, and Jacob, I know that you're a little bit biased because of Sonny here, but you had them getting out of this group instead of Portugal.
Oh, yeah.
They looked very good in their opening match against Uruguay, but the road is still very, very tough. They have a Ghanaian team that looked very good against Portugal, and then obviously they still have the group favorites in Portugal left to play. But look, they looked bright to open up their group stage play. They still have Hyunmin Son on their team. It's looking good so far for the South Koreans, and they looked, like I said, very bright against Uruguay in their first match.
Yeah, I still stand by my picks. Uruguay and South Korea making it out the group. Portugal got lucky that Ghana didn't equalize at the close to the end. The goalkeeper laid the ball down. Inaki Williams, very heady play, went and won the ball, but then he slipped. Really, really, really upset.
They had the player doing the C, like Alexander Hilton's thing.
Yeah, that's right. I was texting Michael that when he hit that. I was like, I love it. It wasn't even like the equalizer. It was just like,
nah, it was
3-2.
Make it 3-2. See, I scored in the World Cup.
I just scored against Ronaldo. See, I loved it. I'm so happy for the guy who scored. Was that?
While Ronaldo was on the bench too.
Yeah,
Ronaldo had already come out to that point.
It's great. That's one of those moments. I hope they get memed and ends up all over the place. But yeah, man, Portugal got so lucky, so very, very lucky that Ghana didn't sneak away with a point there. Thought they were unlucky. They are still a solid squad. They're pretty good. But again, Rafael Leao is a guy that is immense
he's that
talent.
Guy. Like he's just that guy. If you're able to smile before you're even shooting the goal that ends up going in, like, come on, bro. Like, you got sauce. He's got sauce. He's
that guy. And this is why I'm scared for Tottenham when we play Milan come February, because we have a horrible right side defensively. They defensively and offensively, their left side is quite a fucking talent with Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao. So this is a guy. I'm really happy that he got on the board for Portugal. He's going to be a world-class talent, but I still just think that I gotta go for my South Korea boys. Gotta go for Sonny. I can't see it any other way. Never will. He's still my golden boot pig. He'll bag a hat trick next match. Just wait for it, and then he'll hit the see. What if he does he does this? He's like running, and he see. That'd be fucking sick, dude. Come on.
That would be sick. But no, they looked good, man. And this is a team that they played in Uruguay that a lot of people, including myself, were very, very high on. They have a lot of key superstars like Fede Valverde, Rodrigo Bentancur, Luis Suarez, Darwin Nunez. I know Araujo didn't play, but he's one of the brighter center backs in the world right now for Barcelona. You know, they have a lot of guys that have a lot of experience. And Diego Godin, who almost scored, by the way, he had a very good corner chance off of a header. He was paired with Jimenez in the center of the pitch. So, like, they have a lot of good guys that are, you know, they're on the come up. They have a nice blend of youth and experience. They're one of the stronger teams, and like I already said, including myself, a lot of people picked them to go through from this group. It was a very, very disappointing performance against South Korea because they weren't the better team. South Korea did outplay them in their opening match, and I think that's why, if you're a South Korean fan, you have a lot to be excited for because of how well you played against one of the tougher teams of the entire tournament, not just your group. So you go into the second game, South Korea, they look very, very good. And like I already said, Ghana, by all means, should not hang their heads after that performance against Portugal. They were a team, especially in the second half, where I thought they deserved a lot more. They had a chance to equalize, like you already mentioned, Jacob, late on into the match. Sadly, the player slipped after getting the ball away from the goalkeeper. A very good heads-up play. This Ghana team is strong. This Ghana team can put a lot of people on upset watch going into these last two games. Do not sleep on Ghana. I promise you, man. They're one of the teams that I said before. They're an African team that's got a little bit more depth than people give them credit for, and they've got a lot of passion on that side of the ball. So just watch out for them going into these last two games. Korea and Portugal look very, very good, and then you always have that danger of Uruguay. So this is another group, man. It's wide open. Even you can even say, even though Portugal won their first game, it's still as wide of a group for them as well. Even though they have 3 points to start out, there's a lot of good teams in there. I'm very, very excited, man. But without further ado, look, go ahead, Jacob.
Real quick, I did want to add to what you were saying. If for whatever reason Portugal loses their next match, which is versus Uruguay, and Uruguay is going to be going out for the win, so you got to expect. Okay, if Uruguay and South Korea both win, now Portugal's sitting in third. So I think that's a very likely reality. That's what I predict to happen. That's what I hope will happen. Jaco says if Ghana uses a high line, Sonny could score a hat trick. And if he scores a hat trick, he's right back into the conversation of Golden Boot for the tournament. My prediction that I will proudly ride and die with. But you know what, man? I'm just so damn proud of the. I'm going back to US because the red, white, and blue on the background. I'm wearing red, white, and blue, and I just, man, big up the lads. Let's all laugh at England for a second. Like, it's pretty funny.
Well, without further ado, man, you want to go ahead and give our biggest surprises and biggest disappointments so far in the World Cup? Everyone has been done with match day 1 so far. Everyone's played at least one game. Match day 2 started today, so it's been exciting so far, man. I'm just glad the World Cup's back. It's been really, really nice to see all these countries play again. A lot of good performances, a lot of big surprises, and a lot of good upsets so far, man. It's been an entertaining first few games. I think you can't really ask for much more than what we've seen so far.
My biggest disappointment is going to be Spain winning 7-0 versus Costa Rica, because I did not want that shit to happen. But guess what? It happened. That's my biggest disappointment thus far. My biggest surprise is going to be, I know I predicted Ecuador to make it out the group, but I did not expect them to do what they did versus Netherlands. Again, I think they deserved the fucking win. They had a goal ruled off, questionable. I thought they deserved the win. So for me, it sucks for them that they didn't get the win versus the Netherlands. That's the biggest surprise for me in a positive way. I would say either them or Saudi, because Saudi beating Argentina, I mean, no one saw that. I don't think anybody thought that would happen. So that's absolutely surprising. Michael, what about you?
For me, I think the biggest disappointment so far has been Argentina, just because I expected them to win the whole thing, or I predicted them to win the whole thing before the tournament started. And it goes hand in hand with my, biggest surprise of the tournament, Saudi Arabia. Look, you get a huge result like that against the best player of all time, arguably, in my opinion, the best player of all time, in the first game of a World Cup group stage where a lot of people have already written you off. It's a big result, man. And the way they came back from 1-0 down to get that 2-1 result, and in the manner that they did. I know Argentina had a few goals ruled off because of VAR and offsides and all that good stuff. They didn't look bad by any means, but the way Saudi Arabia were still able to take the game into their hands and literally take the game from Argentina is very, very impressive. So it goes hand in hand, man. Biggest disappointment, Argentina. Biggest surprise, Saudi Arabia. But by all means, I don't think it's over for Argentina. I still have them as my prediction to win the whole thing. They're not out of it by any means, but now tomorrow's game against Mexico is a must win for that country.
Absolutely. I like the shakeups. I like the unexpecteds. I think that's what makes a tournament like this so beautiful to watch, because you got your Saudi Arabias and your Ecuadors, and they're loving life right now. So, God, it's been so much fun, honestly, catching every game. I try to wake up by 6 a.m. to catch at least the second game.
I haven't watched any of the 3 a.m. ones yet, and I won't. I promise you I won't. But
I don't think I could, dude. There's no way. No fucking way.
But look, I'm currently on my weekend from off of work. Thursday was yesterday was my first day off, and so far both days, man, I've woken up bright and early for the 6 a.m. kick. So
Proud of
I'm
you.
loving the World Cup. I'm
very
World Cup
proud
so
of you.
far.
It's a great
I'm trying to watch as much of it as I can, even while I am at work. I always got a little screen on my second monitor, trying to lock in.
There you go. See, that's a real fan right there. Man, all to play for US, man. That's
All to
crazy.
play
We're in
for.
such a good position, bro. We are in such a good position, man. I did close the poll. Let's see the results. Draw is fair. Both teams meh. Wins with 35%. Damn, a lot of people went with both teams meh. Second place, USA deserved the dub. Feels like a win. Third place, England drew versus MLS defenders. And then the last, with 11%, England lost it. Let's laugh at them. So there's actually 2 answers of laughing at England. So I guess if you add their percentages, that'd be 34. So they'd technically be, it'd be second
place.
Second place, yeah.
Let's all laugh at England.
Let's all laugh at England. Let's all laugh at England. That's who I'm laughing at tonight. Who are you laughing at tonight?
Tonight, who am I laughing at? I am laughing at the New York Giants because they are now 0-10 the last 10 times they have played Dak Prescott.
Hey, nice.
Go Cowboys, by
Fucking
the
New
way,
York
for
Giants.
all my American fans. We got the
Mhm.
dub on Thanksgiving for the first time since 2018 last night, so
Let's
suck
fucking
it.
go. Suck it. You got any final
Cowboys,
thoughts
man.
for me, buddy?
That's my final thought, man. Super thankful to be here with you today. Super thankful for the community that we've built together, and super thankful for the United States men's national team. Super thankful for Spurs and Richarlison, and super thankful for the Dallas Cowboys for getting the dub yesterday, man. What about you?
I'm going to share everything that you just said, and I'm thankful for all those things as well. And my final thought is going to be USA, USA, USA.
USA.
Or I've been working on a little ditty. I might whip it out next time. If we make it past the group, I'll sing a little USA song that I've been annoying my family with for lack of better words. Let's
Hell
just say
yeah.
I've been annoying my family with a stupid USA song, and I will share it with the whole world if we do, in fact, make it out of the group. But I fucking hope we will.
It remains to be seen, and like you said, Jacob, it's still all to play for going into the last game of group stage play in Group B. Regardless, thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you guys so much for tuning in to another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast, live on our YouTube channel every single Friday. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for listening to us. For Jacob, I'm Michael. Up the lads, and Jacob.
Come on, United Spurs of America. Oh, wait, United States men's national team of
And
America.
Spurs.
And Spurs.
Richarlison.
Richarlison. Proo, 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 proo.
United Spurs of America with your host, Michael